Hello, I welcome you to EdChem channel. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the next part of structure of atom. Those are dual behavior of matter, and we'll derive one equation called de Broglie expression. Then we'll look into the quantum mechanical model, which tells about the modern approach of structure of atom. So without a doubt, let us start. Now first we'll discuss about the de Broglie equations. Okay, so what is this de Broglie equation and how de Broglie approach to an equation which tells about the dual behavior of matter. First he told about light possess both wave as well as particle nature. So as we already saw that from this equation h nu, okay, so Planck says that h nu is tells about the wave nature of electron, and E is equal to mc square, the famous Einstein equation. This tells about the particle nature of electron. Next, de Broglie in 1924 proposed matter should exhibit both particle and wave properties. So as we already know that electron is behaving as a particle as well as wave. So he proposed that all that matter include electron should have wavelength and momentum. Just like he said that electron, it should have wavelength as well as momentum, or one is nothing but your wave nature and another is the particle nature. So the particle nature of electron produce a spot of light on the zinc sulfide screen. This is one experiment which tells about the particle nature of electron. This suggests particle nature of electron. So this you can search in the Google what is the zinc sulfide screen, how zinc sulfide screen is used to detect the particle nature of electron. Next one is wave nature of electron. This confirm the diffraction pattern obtained which are characteristics of wave. So diffraction is a topic we will read in the 12th class. So for the time being, just remember electron behave wave nature also. Now as we see that the electron behave dual nature, and we can say that dual nature means one is the wave nature and second one is the particle nature. So now what is wave nature? Wave nature means that electron must have some wave characteristics. That is, it must have some frequency, some wavelength, some velocity. Particle nature means it must have some mass or velocity. Okay. So now based upon these two concepts, as we know that energy is equal to h nu. How this equation has come? This equation has come from Planck's constant. So nu can be written as hc upon lambda, right? Hc upon lambda. And from the particle nature, we can say that Einstein's famous equation is equal to mc square. So this tells about the particle nature of electron, and this tells about the wave nature of electron. So if you'll see that if we'll combine these two equations, that is E is equal to hc by lambda, E is equal to hc upon lambda, and here E is equal to mc square. So if we'll combine these two equations, what we'll get? hc upon lambda is equal to mc square. So what is c? C is the velocity of light, lambda is the wavelength, h is the Planck's constant. Cancel this out. So what we'll get? H upon lambda is equal to m into c. So this c is nothing but your velocity. So I'm replacing this c with a v term. Okay. So what will be the equation then? The equation will be h upon lambda into m into v. So lambda is equal to h upon mass into velocity, and mass into velocity is equal to momentum. So I'm putting this lambda is equal to h upon p. So this is the equation of de Broglie. So this is the de Broglie equation. Okay. Now another thing is sometime P can be written as in terms of kinetic energy, that is root over 2 K. K is nothing but your kinetic energy into M. So we can replace that equation as lambda is equal to h upon p can be replaced with root over 2 kinetic energy into mass. So 2 kinetic energy into mass. So this equation you remember. So next we'll discuss about the quantum mechanical model. So the quantum mechanical model was developed by Heisenberg and Erwin Schrödinger in the year 1926. And Schrödinger gave the formula this. This is the Schrödinger equation, which tells about the wave nature of electron inside the atom. So basically the concept says about the if this is nucleus and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So as we know that in the Bohr's atomic model, electron revolve around a fixed path. But this equation tells about the wave nature of electron. That means it satisfied particle as well as wave nature. So he derived one equation which tells about the wave nature of electron in an atom. In this equation, these are d square psi by d x square. These x, y, and z, these are the coordinates of the electron. So basically, he says about if electrons are present in an atom, so electrons are present in a 3D space and it is randomly moving and it has different shape, size, and energy. If electrons are revolving in a 3D space, that means it must have 3D coordinate, that is x, y, and z. What is m? M is the mass of electron, E is the total energy of electron, V is the potential, H is the Planck's constant, and psi. What is this psi? Psi is nothing but the wave function of electron. So can I say that if any body is moving in a particular path, so that path is represented with a function. For an example, sin x. So what is sin x? Sin x is nothing but a function because sin x graph is like this. Okay. So you just remember psi is nothing but some wave function. Now wave function. It is the mathematical function whose value depends on the coordinate of electron in the atom and does not carry any physical meaning. So wave function, this is just only a function. For an example, sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, like that. So that wave function doesn't have any physical significance. So here psi is just a wave function. Next one, significance of chi square. This is very important. So chi square is probability factor. It describes the probability of finding an electron within a small space, the space which maximum probability of finding the electron in an orbital. So what it says about, see, if this is our nucleus, so what will happen? Chi square tells about at this region, he is talking about some region is there, okay? So at this region, we can say that we will find out the electron. So this is nothing but probability density. So chi square tells about some region is there. There we can find out electrons are present. So there are so many regions. It's not only one region. There are many regions are there in the atom where we can say that the electron are found in this region. Okay. So in the exam, they will ask you mostly about the significance of chi square, not the chi. Next, we'll discuss about some important features of quantum mechanical model. Point number one, the energy of electron is quantized. That means certain specific amount of energy is associated with an electron present around the nucleus. See, what is the meaning of quantize? Quantize means it's a number of 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on. So as we already discussed, E is equal to NhC by lambda, right? So this n is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, integer multiple. So quantization means the energy is a fixed value. It cannot be a negative or it cannot be fraction. So if you'll put 1, 2, and 3, 4, and so on, so you will get quantized form of energy. So he says that the energy is fixed or quantized. Second point, it replaced the concept of fixed circuit orbit. So as we already saw that the electron present in a fixed orbit. So the wave mechanical model destroy the concept of fixed orbit. and it tells about the probability of finding the electron density at a particular point. Basically, he is talking about the psi square. So in the previous slide, we have discussed about the region where we can get the electron density. The wave function is also founded by solving the Schrodinger equation. So as we saw that in the previous slide, Schrodinger gave one equation. If we'll solve it, then we will find out different position, different energy, shape, size of the electron. The wave function has no physical significance, correct? He is talking about on psi, okay? But square of the wave function as probability density, which gives the finding of electron at a particular point within an atom. So he is basically talking about psi has no physical significance, it has no meaning, it is just a wave, it is a function. Whereas if you want to find out the electron in an atom, so you have to find out the region, you have to talk about the region, not a particular orbit. Okay, so you have to tell at this region we can find out the electron. So that is nothing but psi square. So next we'll discuss about quantum numbers. So what are these quantum numbers? How do we get quantum numbers? See, as we saw that the Schrodinger equation, okay, so Schrodinger equation doesn't come in your exam. So if you solve the Schrodinger equation, it's a very mathematical solving process. So we don't have to go in that. It is not in our course also. So if we'll solve the Schrodinger equation, we'll get various quantum numbers. Now, this quantum number will give us the information of the electron. So the quantum number defined as a set of 4 numbers within the help of which we can give the complete information. You see this complete information about the electron in an atom. So if you want to find out the electron in some region, okay, so you need the energy, the shape, the size, and so many information. So you can find out those information from the quantum numbers. So what are those quantum numbers? You have to remember these are very important. Many exams they ask. First quantum number is principal quantum number represented with n. Second is azimuthal quantum number, that is L. Magnetic quantum number is small m. Spin quantum number is S. So in the next lecture we'll talk about what are these quantum numbers, what are the information that we get from these 4 quantum numbers, and so on detail. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you want to connect with me with my social media account, my Instagram handle is this and my Twitter handle is this. Please like this video and subscribe to EdCam channel. That will be great help, and share with your friends. Thank you all.